So let's open a new file, new dot dot dot. PyCharm sometimes does this. You need to make sure you have the folder selected. New dot dot dot, new Python file, and let's call it Goblin Game. Good. And I'll leave the sidebar open for now. I'll probably close it later on because it's nice to leave it out the way. In fact, let me close it now. There we go. So we are ready to start coding. This is our canvas. This is where we're going to be writing our code for the computer to understand. Now, we know our task. We've seen the game. It's a nice and simple game. What you want to do before you start coding is to think, what are the steps I want my computer program to do? In this case, the first step is we want to show the user of the program a welcome message. Welcome to the Goblin Game, whatever you want to write. Now, one thing I'm going to ask you to always think of when you're coding is you always have two hats on. The programmer's hat, which is what we're going to be doing when we're writing code. But when you run your code, you want to look at the code that's running from a user's perspective. That's what the user of the program will see. Often, you may write code for yourself, and therefore, even in the real world, you may be the programmer and the user of the program, but it's always nice to separate the two. So, we're going to start introducing the first command in Python. It's a very important command, but it's also one of the most boring ones. We'll see what it does. So I'm going to say print, and print is going to say, put whatever I'm going to give you in the brackets on the screen. And let's try this for now. Welcome to the game. Now, you can start to see some red there. Red is never a good sign. So let me run this program. Now, the first time you run the program, you might want to go to Run menu, run dot dot dot, and then you can see I've got another one there. So Goblin Game is the one I've done. And we get an error. Now, forget the errors for now. We'll deal with errors. We'll learn how to read them in a bit. Let's see what the problem is here. So Python starts reading the first word, print. It knows what print is. It's something that exists in Python. We'll see what the brackets are doing in a bit. But then it's looking for welcome, and it says, is welcome a command I know? No. Welcome to the game, we're not intending these words to be commands for Python to understand, like print. They are for the user. So what we do is we put them in quotation marks. And we're starting to learn the grammar here, if you like, the syntax of Python. The quotation marks are telling Python, whatever is inside these quotation marks, they're just characters for the human being. You, Python, don't need to understand this. The human being will understand them. And if I run this program now, you can see that it prints out welcome to the game. So, with the programmer's hat, I see that line of code. Print, open bracket, speech marks, welcome to the game. When I run it, with a user's hat on, I see the text, welcome to the game. You can ignore this first line that tells you where your file is. You'll always see a line at the end here that says the program has done well. It's finished and it's all okay, so ignore it. It's this bit we're looking at. Good. So we have written our first Python program. We're saying, show this text to the user. Print, open brackets, welcome to the game. Next. I can move to the next line. What did I want to do next? I wanted to ask the user for their name. So I want to show them a message. Type in your name. And you might think, let me skip a line there. We'll talk about skipping lines later. Don't worry too much about them. And I might do something similar. Print, type in your name, say. And if I run this program now, okay, good. Welcome to the game. Type in your name. It seems like it's worked. But there's a problem here. Process finish with exit 0, exit goes 0, means the program has finished. Python has gone through our entire program. It has printed welcome to the game. It has printed type in your name, and that's it. That's not what we want in this case. We want the user to be able to type in something and send whatever they type in back into the program. This is the flow between program and user and back to program. Now, what's the problem here? Print is a one-way form of communication. Print allows the programmer, the computer program, to communicate to the user. We're showing the user, welcome to the game. We're showing the user, type in your name. But in this case, oops, there you go. I want a two-way communication. I want the program to communicate, type in your name to the user, but then I also want the user to have the opportunity to type in something and send it back. This is what I mean by two-way communication. And therefore, instead of input, we're going to use its close cousin. a command called, instead of print, we're going to use input. And if I run the program now, you can see that there is one difference that happened. I don't have the line that says the program has finished. Why? Because the program is paused. It's paused on line 3 because it's waiting for the user to type in something. And the moment I hit enter, that's when whatever I typed in this case, the letters that make up my name, have gone back into the program. Now in this case, the program has nothing else to do. So now it gave us process finished exit code 0. But we have created a two-way communication. Print is one way, input is two-way. This line is not quite right yet, but we'll come and fix it in a bit. Good. What do we need to do next? Next, we need to print again the second welcome message, something like, "Hi Stephen, are you ready to play this game?" or whatever. So we know we need to put quotation marks, and I'm going to write, "Hi Stephen, are you ready to play?" I don't mean this as a question, right? I mean as a statement. So I don't need this to be an input. I'm not expecting the player to say yes, they are ready to play. Good. And this is looking nice and brilliant, right? But here's the problem. Let's assume that I am Bob. I hit enter, it says, "Hi Stephen, are you ready to play?" Why? Because everything inside the quotation marks is taken literally by the computer. So I have hard-coded the word Stephen there. I need to think of another solution. I don't want to put Stephen there. I want to put whatever has come back from the input. So I need to find a way of connecting the information that the user sent back in this command and somehow pass it on, transfer it to this line.